everybody, I'm Cassandra from Craft to Believe After, and welcome to another video. Now friends, this past week has been an extremely slow crochet week for me. It's been incredibly hectic at work, much more so than usual. I think this coming week is going to be the same. So it has sort of impacted my crochet time a bit now. I've still crocheted every single day, but I will show you what I have been up to. As I say, not a lot, but I did enjoy what I've been making. The first thing is I finally finished up another one of these cute little reindeer. Now I showed this guy to you in a recent video. It was the 20 free Amigurumi pattern video, so you can go back to that video if you want the pattern link for this one. Really cute pattern. I've made it a number of times before. I finished this one this week using, of course, my favorite rainbow cotton 86, which is a sport weight or a yarn weight too, and I use a 2.5mm hook. This guy actually shouldn't have taken me as long as it did. It took me several days to finish him. I did some things in between which I will show you as well, but I really like these little reindeer for a cute quick make. They are super easy, such a quick, it's not a difficult pattern, even though you sew on the arms, the muzzle, the ears, the little antlers. There is a bit of sewing involved, but even with all the sewing, it still takes really quickly to make. So I think I might just whip up a few more of these to use as gifts for the end of the year. The next thing I did was for our Amigurumi World Tour 2024. Now it's been extremely slow with our Amigurumi book tour. I know, well, at least during the last week, we've had an update or project choice for our US book, which has been the pie. So we've had the pie before in the international book. We now had the pie for the US book. So I'm excited to see the project photo for that one. Our international book, that one is a bit slower in moving forward. I think we haven't had a project chosen or a new project announced for that book in about 3 weeks now. So we've had plenty of time to catch up on all of our outstanding projects. So things we've been wanting to make, projects that we've been wanting to catch up on. I'm still behind on one item, which is the succulent planter. I keep on being behind on that one single project, but I did make the pineapple. So mine does not have any face on it. I didn't put faces on any of my food items. This one I made, as I did with most of mine, I used the rainbow or the Friends Cotton 86 and a 2.5mm hook. Now these little leaves did take me quite a bit of time to sew on. It was similar with the octopus. The octopus also had those, obviously, the 8 tentacles. These have got these 8 leaves. It felt like octopus deja vu for me. But I'm glad I did it. I really enjoy the projects from this book. And I will talk to you a bit about a challenge that I am going to throw out there. But let me first, before I get into the challenge for our Amigurumi World Tour. So just to say, I've at least caught up on my pineapple. So I'm not very far behind on the projects. I'm trying to make every single project in the book. I'm doing pretty well so far. I think we've only got about 4 projects between the 2 books that's not been chosen at all. So we are heading into doubles territory. But it's super fun. I still love receiving all of your photos. I just uploaded a brand new journal to my blog yesterday evening. So everyone who submitted up to yesterday, your project is now in the journal. The updated journal is on my blog, and I will leave a link to my blog in the description box below. I had a fun little quiz that I posted on my community tab, asking you guys to guess how many photos are currently a part of our journal, and it is a staggering 397. So all in all, every single photo that I've received so far that's included in the journal adds up to 397, and that is wonderful. There's so many fantastic photos in that journal. Please head over there and see what this amazing community has been up to. It's been wonderful. I love receiving the emails. As I say, I always love chatting with you guys back and forth. You know, I love the stories about your children, your grandchildren, your area that you live in, the weather in whatever country you're from, just all sorts of random chit chat that's been going on, and I am loving it. So thank you so much for being a highlight of my day every time I receive an email from any of you submitting a project for our world tour. Now, if this is the first time that you've logged onto my video or you're fairly new to the channel, I will link our original video down below, which announced the start of the epic Amigurumi World Tour 2024, so that you can have a look at what's been going on. But if you have this book, you are more than welcome to join in. But I will chat about a little challenge I've got going on, or that I'm starting. It's not going on yet. It's coming up, sort of, you know, those mini non-cals that I like to throw in between all of the cals that we are forever busy with. So this is another little mini challenge that I'm going to throw out there, because obviously we don't have enough to keep ourselves busy with between work and life and crochet and 70 different projects and whips and to-do list things. I always have to like sneak something in between all of that, and it's always super fun because you are the most fantastic group of people I have the pleasure to know. You jump on these mini challenges and you make it so much more fun. But before I get to that, I'm going to show you what has been taking up the majority of my time. And I must tell you, it feels like I've been feeling like one of those memes. Like I've seen my children watch, or my children have showed me. It's called, I don't know, there's different things for it. For instance, tell me you're from Denmark without telling me you're from Denmark. Or tell me you are a coffee lover without telling me you're a coffee lover. I mean, I don't know if you have an idea what I'm talking about. But I've been feeling like one of those memes where it says, like, my caption would be, tell me you are having a midlife crisis without telling me you are having a midlife crisis. And I'm going to show you I'm going to tell you without telling you why I think I am going through a midlife crisis. Now, if you've been with the channel a while, you will find this extremely funny. But I'm going to show you what I'm talking about now. It is my obsession with the loaf-cat. Okay, so just one loaf-cat in itself is not gonna like warrant me labeling myself having a midlife crisis. But just this week, this and this and this and this and this, okay, and I'm not done, you guys. These two. So there you have it. This has been just this week. Just this week. So, as you know, I have this basket from last week. Just so that you don't think I'm showing you doubles. So I have just been piling this basket with more loaf-cats. I don't know why. I just find them so relaxing to make. So I'm officially becoming like a cat lady, a crazy cat lady. This is what I'm becoming, the crazy crochet loaf-cat lady. I think this is what I should rename myself as, the crazy crochet loaf-cat lady, because I love them. I love this pattern so much. I will link it down below. But what I actually wanted to show you, in between all of the craziness, I had to buy some stuffing, as I do every couple of weeks, it feels like. And Hobby has come out with some of their Christmas yarns. Now, I think I've seen this one a couple of weeks ago, so it should have been or should be in their shop like from 2 months maybe ago, a month or 2 months ago. But it's a very nice sparkling. I think you might be able to pick up on the sparkles just a bit. So they've got it in a few different colors, but you know, I don't want a red or a green loaf-cat, but I do like this off-white color with a sparkle in it. So this is their honey bunny glitter, and then these cats with the dots on, these are actually one of my favorites to work with, yarns to make the cats with. This is the honey bunny candy, so it's got those little dots in it. I know you get the parfait chunky pom-pom, which is exactly the same thing, but I like working with the honey bunny candy. Now this one has been a dream to work with, the honey bunny glitter. So I have now in my collection, and now you can't see it that well, but I've got now glittery cats. That is part of my little loaf-cat collection. And then a friend from work, now she already has one of these regular size loaf-cats on her desk at work, and she mentioned during the week, if I ever make like a very small one, would I mind making her one? That was all the excuse I need to make mini loaf-cats. So maybe for reference I should put these two. So this is the honey bunny, and this one is a yarn I received in Happy Mail fairly recently. It's like a 4-weight chenille type of yarn. So it's a number 4 weight. I use a 3mm hook with it. With my number 6, the super bulkies, the honey bunny or the premier parfait chunky, I use actually these days a 4mm. I used to use a 5mm hook, but I've really been enjoying working that yarn with a 4mm. But this number 4 weight chenille yarn, this is so much fun, and that was so cute. So I made one for my colleague at work, and then Jessica saw the mini ones and she's like, oh please, can I make one for her as well? So Jessica, my daughter, she has got the second one. So there you have it. I'm like the crazy crochet loaf-cat lady. Show me you have a midlife crisis. Tell me you've got a midlife crisis without telling me you've got a midlife crisis. This is it. And you guys, it's not like I'm market prepping. Like I've got a market coming up, but I'm not making it specifically for then. Even if I didn't have a market coming up in December, I would still make them because I love making them. They're so relaxing. It's been one of those weeks where I just did not want to read a pattern. And I know the loaf-cat pattern off by heart, which is why this is just the pattern that I keep on getting back to. I've got 2 whips on the go, but they're not projects I can show you yet. So the one I'm doing for the lovely Litsa over at Coco's Crochet, she's having this through the decade scale. I've not been able to join in with the 50s or 60s, but I've got a fun project going on for the 1970s. So I hope to get that done soon. Then in November, a very fun collab coming up with 2 lovely yarny friends here on YouTube. So keep an eye out for that, but I will do a proper announcement video a bit later in the month. But that's a project, I'm starting on the project so long for November. So things that I'm sort of slowly working on in the background, but I can't show you yet. So for now, you guys, you will have to forgive me for showing you loaf-cats every single week. All right, away from the loaf-cats, now on to my little mini challenge. I asked you guys to give me some suggestions. There were some brilliant ideas. I nearly, very, very nearly jumped onto a suggestion to use the loaf-cat as, the challenge, to have a little loaf-cat challenge. I was very close to taking that one. But it was actually a project by my friend Karen that she submitted for our Amigurumi World Tour. And this is why I thought I am going to use Karen's idea, sort of steal her idea and make it into a mini challenge. Because as I mentioned with our Amigurumi World Tour, we kicked off with this massive amount of energy and excitement. And now that it's sort of a few months along and we're just about through all of the projects, things are slowing down a bit, but I still still want us to enjoy the challenge, you know, for the last upcoming few months. So there's still, I think we quite a bit past halfway now for our US book. We're just about halfway with the international book. So just to keep things exciting, and as I say, this has been a brilliant idea that I'm stealing from Karen. She has been making the projects that's been selected so far in a holiday theme. So she, for instance, she has made the whale and the turtle. She's completely up to date with all of the projects that we've done so far. But she has been making some of the doubles that's been announced in a holiday theme. So she's, for instance, made the whale in a candy corn theme. Also the turtle, I think she's made the turtle in a candy corn theme. She's made a fantastic pie, which was our most recent US choice. She made the pie to look like this very, very scary sort of Halloween themed pie with the spider on it. I'll pop that picture because that was actually the picture that made me decide to throw out this challenge and what it is. So if you have this book and you still want to join in, or if you've joined in already and you want to be like a few of us who's gonna try and make all of the patterns. So there's still a few patterns that is up that's not been chosen yet, or even if you want to start making doubles, and this is what I want to start doing, is to jump on and make some of the patterns and second time, but in a different theme. So I'm gonna ask, but there'll be if you don't have the book, there'll be a part that you will also be able to join into, because I know not everyone has got access to this book. So I'll pop in a free pattern that we will also use. But I'm now all over the place, you guys. It's this brain of mine, it's just scattered left, right and center. But anyway, so let me try and explain the challenge. So using the projects from the Whimsical Stitches book, if you want to make them, so say for instance you haven't made a specific project yet, or you've made it and you want to maybe make another one, to make it into one of the upcoming holiday themes. So either Halloween or Thanksgiving or Christmas. I'm definitely going to make a Christmas themed project from this book. I've already got an idea for the bunny. But there's so many ways that you can make these patterns, and they're super quick to make. For instance, the mug has been a choice, and I think the mug it's been chosen once already, so someone from the other book will still choose it. So there will be two mug, well, there'll be two of everything. But say for instance you want to make the mug and you want to put it into a festive theme. So you can either make it, for instance, in an orange cup with like a cream top to be like a pumpkin spiced latte. Or if you want to make it Christmas themed, make a red cup, put like a little snowflake on top of it, and make the coffee pot like a dark brown to be hot chocolate. Or you can, for instance, choose the donut. If you want to make the donut, you make the donut icing in white, and then you give it green and red, sprinkles on top. Or what I want to try doing, so I'm giving away my little secret project. I want to use the bunny pattern, but I want to make it a gingerbread bunny. So there are so many ways in which you can adapt the patterns from this book to give it a festive twist. So it has to be a pattern that you've not submitted yet. I mean, you can't use the photo that you've submitted before and now just add a red cherry on top. So a brand new project in a festive theme. So it can be any, it can be fall themed, winter themed, which is where we are now. I know the Southern Hemisphere, they're going into, they're in spring and they're going into summer. So you're welcome to use the seasonal theme. Then, of course, you can use Halloween, you can use Thanksgiving, you can use definitely Christmas. I think my project, I might do one or two different ones, will be leaning more towards the Christmas themed side. So for those of you who still want to join in, I know many of you have joined in so far, and you do the projects as they pop up. Many of you are doing the doubles as well. So even though you've done many of the projects, as the doubles get announced, you also make the double project. And this is just a fun way to make that double project maybe in a theme. So anyone who submits for our journal, so you would still submit it as regular for our journal pages, the Hello From journal pages, but it will also count as an entry for this giveaway. Now, for those of you who do not have the book, and I really wanted to keep it like the Whimsical Stitches type of, within the project or within the patterns from Lauren Espy. And recently, again, when I spoke about my free patterns, I mentioned her free chubby bunny pattern, and there are a million modifications for that bunny. So if you don't have the book or don't have access to the book, I know you can borrow it from the library. I don't want you to go out and buy the book. So if you don't have access to the book, you are more than welcome to use the free chubby bunny pattern from Lauren Espy. I will link her website down below so that I can keep it within sort of our theme that we are using for our world tour. So you can use her chubby bunny pattern, either use one of the themes that she's got. So she has got various modifications for her bunnies for all of the holidays. She's got Halloween ones, she's got Thanksgiving, she's got Christmas, she's got like dozens of different types of bunnies. Now if you don't want to use her bunny, any of the modifications, you can just use the bunny base and then change it up yourself. Be creative. I know my friend Mary over at Slow Crochet, she was talking to me about how cute it would be to make an animal with a fruit or a food theme, and she specifically had a strawberry in mind. So you can even, or like a little, I think she also mentioned a little Christmas pudding. So you can make this bunny to look like a little Christmas pudding, and you can send that in to me as well. So I'll add another little page in our journal because it's sort of linked to our World Tour journal. I'll add specifically a page in our journal if you're going to use the chubby bunny pattern. For any other project from within the Whimsical Stitches book, I'm just going to add it to our regular Hello From pages. Now, as I mentioned, it is going to be a giveaway. I showed you guys last week this lovely bag that I received as a gift from a wonderful lady on Etsy. I ordered a bag from her. She sent me another bag, this bag for free. So this one I mentioned last week will be part of a giveaway, and this is going to be the giveaway. So I'll do a random draw. I think I'm going to make it up until the end of November. So that gives us about a month and a half for this mini in-between challenge. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. Let's call it the mini in-between challenge for now. So this will be like the main part of the giveaway, the main thing. But of course, I'll pop in one or two other things. I recently bought these cute little tins from a shop here in the city. They make, now it is in Danish, but they make these little boiled candies, and this one is in peppermint flavor. So it's these cute little, it's like a little tin with like boiled sweets in this little cute Christmas tin. Plus, now if you guys didn't know, maybe you did know that Lego comes from Denmark. So with me being from Denmark or living in Denmark, I'm from South Africa, just in case there's some confusion, I live in Copenhagen at the moment. But with Lego being from Denmark, it's a Danish company, I thought, instead of my usual, I love to put in keychains as a little souvenir in my giveaways. But I thought from now on, I want to pop in maybe like Lego. Oh, no, Mickey doesn't want to turn. I want to pop in some Lego keychains. So this little Mickey will be in this bag. And then I'll pop one or two other things in here as well. So this one will be our little giveaway, ending at the end of November. I'm looking forward to seeing the fun festive twists that you guys will be putting on either the projects from the Whimsical Stitches book, So any upcoming projects, or if there's any project that you haven't done yet and maybe you've been wanting to do it, add a little like seasonal twist to it and I will enter it into the giveaway. So it has to be with one of the upcoming holidays. So I'm not looking at Valentine's Day or anything for next year, only Halloween or Thanksgiving or Christmas, or if you want to stick to a specific season. So that's basically all the seasons, because we are currently in autumn heading into winter here in the northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere in spring heading into summer. So either do a spring theme, summer theme, winter, autumn, or I think what would be more fun is the holiday themes. I know you guys are extremely creative, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you can come up with. All right, friends, that has been it for this week. As I say, my obsession with the loaf-cats have not gone away. You will probably be seeing more loaf-cats in the upcoming weeks. I'm very sorry, but I cannot help it. I love those cats. Anyway, friends, that's it for now. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend so far. I hope you're ready for the week ahead. As always, until I see you in the next video, stay safe and stay crafty.